Hello. In this video, I'll introduce the Virtual Surveyor concept and explain how drone photogrammetry is not the final step, but the starting point of drone surveying. I'll show you how you can apply your existing surveying techniques within a virtual environment that is built from drone photogrammetry as an elevation model, and why your expert survey skills are essential for conducting an accurate and reliable survey. First, I'll explain the basic concept by showing you how a surveyor traditionally works on a project site. I'll enable the graticule lens and set the line interval to 20 meters apart so I have a better visual of distancing on the site. To start, the surveyor takes a rover and begins walking the site, capturing shots every 20 meters, working around any vegetation and other objects on the terrain. They simply continue making their way across the site, placing points in a lawnmower-like pattern until they've covered the entire area they need to survey. With the points captured, I can create a surface. By default, the surface displays as a triangulated irregular network, or a tin, and accurately represents the terrain. I can also have the surface display as contours and change how far apart the contours are to get the appropriate level of detail. You see, you can perfectly replicate the traditional surveying process in the Virtual Surveyor app. Now I can show you how to speed up the surveying process by taking advantage of drone technology. I'll still use the same surveying concept, except I can get the job done much faster across a larger area while utilizing more intelligent tools. I'll use a point grid tool to have the software place points on the terrain for me. To generate a point grid, I'll need to create a boundary around the site so the computer knows what area I want to place the points in. After drawing a boundary around the area I want to survey, I'll select low pass for the point grid tool and set the point distance to be 20 meters apart. Now I click the point grid button, and the points are generated within the boundary directly onto the terrain. As you can see, not only does it generate the points for me, but it has avoided obstacles on the terrain thanks to the intelligence of the low pass tool. The low pass tool works incredibly well on sites that have a lot of vegetation, and with minimal input, it creates a clean, detailed surface with all the points at ground level. We can take this a step further and add even more points for a more detailed surface. To add more detail, I'll use the same boundary I created earlier, but this time, set the low pass point grid to place points every 5 meters apart. This may take a bit more work to edit the surface, but it's worth the trade-off for how much detail you can get. With the points generated, it looks like some points were placed on objects like buildings and trees. I'll need to remove those points, but I still want to retain the extra detail on the terrain. To do this, I'll create a surface from the most recently generated low pass points, and disable both the point grid and boundary since I don't need them for editing. I'll switch to 2D mode, navigate to the Edit Surface button in the Tools tab, and enable the contours so I can have a better visual of all the points, and to see if any more were placed on objects. From this view, the tightly formed circular contour lines can help me recognize which points were placed on objects on the terrain. Now I can simply go about removing points from buildings, brush, or trees until I can ensure the surface is completely at ground level. After I'm done editing points, the surface is complete. With just a small learning curve, you can use the Virtual Surveyor app to pick the best tool for the job and quickly create a surface for any type of terrain. And once you understand surveying in a virtual world, you can start working much faster and still achieve accurate, highly detailed results. You'll have the tools and methods for virtually any type of survey. You can export your lightweight survey to a CAD or GIS software as points, tins, or contours. You can create point grids over densely vegetated areas, a mine, or large project sites. Create a road survey with section lines, draw break lines to create a line survey for a quarry, and even use drawing tools to create a planimetric survey with intuitive tool functions like duplicate, rotate, move, etc. I hope you've learned something useful about applying the Virtual Surveyor concept, and maybe even learned some things about drone surveying that you weren't aware of. Virtual Surveyor can help you do your job with excellent results and help you create some remarkable surveys. I wish you the best with your future projects, and until next time, happy surveying.